We wish. We wish a motherfucker would be in our shit.
As far as I'm concerned, they could burn this bitch to the ground. And it still wouldn't be enough. And they are lucky that what black people are looking for is equality and not revenge.
Coffee is hot. Good morning, sunshines. It's Friday, September 22nd, and Beyonce was in Dallas last night, so I just feel like I'm a better person. Even though I didn't go to the concert, I got to breathe the air that she was breathing, though it was recycled and rotated. Either way, I'm better, so talk to me nice. All right, let's go on and get into this 5 things for the day, y'all, so we can get into the weekend. Here's 5 things that happened in news and politics while we were sleeping, September 22nd edition. My handy dandy phone. Okay, the first story I got for y'all comes out of Colorado. The trial for the 2 officers involved in the death of the young man, Elijah McClain, their trial started on yesterday. Now, a lot of us probably heard about Elijah McClain's death in 2020, 2021. It was kind of riding the same wave as the George Floyd murder. But Elijah was actually killed in 2019, but it became prominent and it became known to us a couple of years later. What prosecutors, are alleging happened is that these 2 officers stopped Elijah McClain on the street. They questioned him. Somehow that escalated. He ended up on the ground in a chokehold. From there, the paramedics came, and it's being said that they gave him a dose of ketamine, a sedative. But the dose was too much for Elijah's body. And if you see, his body type, he did look like a pretty slender young man. So that trial is starting. The 2 officers are each charged with 1 count of manslaughter and another count of, let me make sure I got this, criminally negligent homicide. There is also another count that has to do with a grand jury indictment as well. That trial is going on in Colorado, and we're, hoping for justice for that young man. All right, story number 2 for y'all. Yesterday was interesting on the foreign affairs front for Washington, D.C. So President Biden and U.S. lawmakers hosted Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky in D.C. Volodymyr Zelensky went on and addressed lawmakers in more of a group setting and really just talked about the importance of U.S. aid, given, Russian aggression and specifically how Russian attacks have increased. So he was making his case to U.S. lawmakers. He then sat with Biden to talk about, further aid. And mind you, Biden has been by Zelensky's side, really attempting to get Congress to give more in the efforts around the war with Russia. Biden then unveiled a new military aid package. As a reminder, Biden had been and has been asking Congress for about $24 billion additionally for Ukraine's aid. Now, it's important to note 2 things. Number 1, that this comes 2 weeks before our own federal government could potentially be shutting down, right? The House is genuinely over there in disarray with Kevin McCarthy fighting with his own party around concessions that he made when he became the Speaker of the House about cutting spending and getting rid of woke programs, right? Things like the weaponization of government. So that's the first thing to note. The second thing that we should probably note here is that Poland actually just announced, I believe it was yesterday or the day before yesterday, that they were also going to stop sending weapons to Ukraine. The reason they are going to stop sending weapons is because there's kind of been a beef between Kyiv and Warsaw, which is Poland's capital, around the banned Ukrainian grain exports to some EU countries. We should also point out that Ukraine is not a member of the EU. So there is a lot going on. So there's not only infighting in our own House and in our own Senate around whether or not we should continue to support Ukraine at this level, but now you have one of Ukraine's closest allies, who is Poland. Remember, a lot of people were fleeing when Russia invaded into Poland. saying that, hey, we're not sending you no guns no more either. So Volodymyr Zelensky was here to make his case. It looks like he's going to get something in military aid, but we could very well see this being a bit of a ramp down for our aid, given that a lot of our lawmakers, and what's crazy is this is on the Republican side that are saying like, hey, we need to tighten the belt around here. And also there needs to be some oversight to what we're sending, how much we're sending, all of that. So story number 2 for you. All right, number 3. There's more fighting in Congress. So Senator Joe Manchin is apparently and allegedly circulating a proposal within the Senate to reverse the dress code reversal that we saw Chuck Schumer put into place a few days ago. Now, y'all remember John Fetterman from Pennsylvania. He's the junior senator from Pennsylvania, freshman senator, actually. And the whole time he was campaigning, he had on like the hoodie. It was the very like blue collar look. It was cool. It had a lot of us thinking like, he gets it. You know what I mean? Like, he knows how much a gallon of milk is. It was giving that. Well, he's been sticking with that, which means that he's been going into the Senate chambers, yes, but also like into like the Capitol period with his hoodie on, with basketball shorts, sweats. He's been chilling. He's been chilling pretty hard. So it was said that John Fetterman, because he didn't want to be in breach of decorum rules, would be like voting from doorways, right? So that he wouldn't be reprimanded for not following the dress code. Well, Chuck Schumer was like, you know what? Let's go on and change this. He changed the dress code so that senators on the go would be allowed to wear sportswear, hoodies, sneakers, things like that. I guess your boy Manchin doesn't like that. And there are other people who don't like it. They've been pushing back. So now he's circulating, it's being said, a proposal that will reestablish the dress code, which Chuck Schumer just said the Sergeant of Armed Staff would not implement and hold people to on the Senate floor. So y'all, they fighting over suits and ties. I don't know. My thing is, though, and this is not fact, this is my opinion, if you can do the job in a hoodie, cool. But we got people in 3-piece suits not doing their job. So I'm just saying, like, your idea of professionalism seems to only go so far as your clothes. Okay, number 4, Fox News. Rupert Murdoch has announced that he is stepping down as chairman of Fox News and I believe it's News Corp. So 7-decade career in news and media. And I mean, we can say what we want about Fox News, about what they spew, all of that. But one thing we can absolutely do is respect, what's been built. And so absolute respect for, Rupert Murdoch and the empire, the media and news empire that he has built. So his son is going to take over. It's being said that his son is, conservative in his values, but he is not as aggressive or even as ambitious as his father. So some people are worried about, the torch being passed to the son. I also found out today that Rupert Murdoch has 6 kids and he only considered his 2 sons for taking over. And it reminded me of my days in church where it was like, but your daughter is great. Who cares, right? So son is taking over. The bigger question, though, in media and news and politics is, what does this mean for Fox News and the role that they will play in the 2024 election? Because we all watched the role that they played in the 2022 election. I mean, the 2020 election. So they just paid they just wrote a big ass check to Dominion Voting Systems for defamation and for continuing to spread what they knew was lies about the 2020 election. And they attach the voting Dominion systems, the voting machines, to those lies and to those conspiracy theories. So they just paid a shit ton of money for that. So yeah, we'll have to watch closely and see what direction Rupert Murdoch's, I hope he didn't murder nobody, his son takes with Fox News. But for now, baby Murdoch is taking over. Yeah. All right. And the last story I got for y'all, this is such a good news story. There's a little bullshit in it, but then there's some stuff in it. There's some good stuff too. So yesterday, the Senate overwhelmingly approved Air Force General. I want to make sure I got the CQ Brown. I was going to call him QC. CQ Brown. So we had talked about this probably a couple months ago about Tommy Tuberville from Alabama, the senator from Alabama, who had held out on voting for military officer appointments and promotions. It had gotten so bad, and this holdout had gone so long, and it's still going, I want to point out, that other leaders in the country had started to question, like, yo, could this impact our national security? Like, we, for the first time, have branches of military without a leader, right? We have appointments that are vacant because you're holding out. Now, the reason Tommy Tuberville of Alabama has been holding out is because he doesn't agree with a policy that the Pentagon has around reimbursing troops who need to travel to other states to procure reproductive care. And a lot of people say abortion, but it could be more than that, right? So he's been holding out. Again, back to the good news, though. Air Force General is officially in there. He was overwhelmingly approved. And he is a historic pick. Number one, his resume is just fantastic. But he's a historic pick because he becomes just the second Black officer to lead the Joint Chiefs of Staff after Army General Colin Powell. So congratulations to him. We are expecting to see more confirmation soon. There was a lot of talk around changing the rules in the Senate so that one person could not hold up these types of votes, and I actually think I agree with it at this point. So congratulations to him, and that's what I got for y'all. I hope y'all have a great weekend. I'm gonna get out of here and go breathe some more of this Beyonce air. There should still be remnants of her in it so I can be an even better person. All right, I'll see y'all later. Y'all be good. Yeah, Monday, be here. Come back, like he said. Yeah, what's his name? I don't know. Bye. Craig said it.
As far as I'm concerned, they could burn this bitch to the ground, and it still wouldn't be enough. And they are lucky that what Black people are looking for is equality and not revenge.